I have had enough. Okay? It is time to talk about why 100%ing Breath of the Wild is so time-consuming and so horrible, okay? And it is one singular thing. The 900... It's enough! Okay? It's enough. As you may know, I did finish Breath of the Wild 100% earlier this year on my Twitch streams, and these godforsaken old pieces of broccoli have kind of ruined everything for me, because they had the potential of being maybe the singular, or maybe the absolutely only and good collectible that we have seen in a game ever, okay? They would have been perfect. But Nintendo butchered them for some reason. I don't know why, they just butchered them. This video is just a rant for me to go over why I hate those little green gremlins and why they actually give me nightmares every single night. So, let me show you what a regular new player of Breath of the Wild might unfortunately understand as they play. They get out of the Shrine of Resurrection, and they see this vast open world to discover. They go further down, and after talking to the old man, they might encounter this. They might be intrigued and think that maybe something happens if they dive into it. And wow! A wooden whippersnapper appeared before them and granted them a seed. And if they continue the game, they might encounter more, and begin to think to themselves that, maybe there are 100 of them, they ask themselves. But no, however, they will soon realize the full extent of what they are embarking on. To put as an example of how long this can take, I want to go over and talk about my hours of gameplay on my Breath of the Wild streams. The total amount of hours it took me to finish Breath of the Wild 100% was 127 hours. This of course does take some time considering everything I need to do. However, from just playing the game, I got a total of 300 out of the 900 lumpy logs. And this meant that one of the final things I needed to do was get the remaining 600. And that wouldn't take long, would it? 24 hours. One total day of hours went into only hunting the remaining 600 sticky sprouts. And this means that I would have probably taken 12 hours for the original 300 I got casually. That means it's a total of 36 hours used on all 900. That's almost a third of my entire playthrough that was just used for hunting these prickly planks. So as you can see, they are very time consuming. The only purpose to get their seeds is not really anything special either, because if you deliver them to Hestu in the forest, he will give you more slots for weapons and shields and bows. And not anything of that you really need. Could be helpful, but you don't really need it. So for someone who is not going for 100% completion, they would at max only require 441 seeds to be able to upgrade all their slots. Getting 441 seeds is not easy either, because they are literally hiding everywhere on the map. There is a very good variety of different puzzles and challenges that you have to solve to find these traveling timbers. The simplest one is to find them under a rock. Just look for an out of place or lonely rock and you can betcha that there is one hiding under there. Another version of it is these stone circles or shapes that need to be filled in with a missing rock. And that is also a very easy one because the rock is very close by. There are these platforms that start a race towards a floating circle, the previously shown circles in the water you have to dive or land in, the cube sculptures that need to be the exact same when you place a block, hopping these pots that is hidden within trees and other places in the forests, and there are a ton of different ways to find these forest fiends overall. The most infuriating ones are the very few that do not act similar to the rest at all. Like, there are two of them that are found in Kakariko Village that you can get by shooting these shields atop the entrance arches. And there are no other that are found through this method. There are absolutely no one that is found through this method at all in the entire game. And the stick? Oh my god. From every single method to find these wild weaklings, there is one singular one hiding under Hylia Bridge that is hiding under a stick. A stick! And this is the only one to do it! Also, who in their right mind would notice or even care about this stick to begin with? And also, don't get me started on the one in Lurlin, where you have to get this rock atop this roof. This took way longer than I want to admit to. There are also unfortunate setbacks that might occur as well. Like that one time on my stream, where I was gonna do this tree puzzle, where you have to remove all the fruit from one tree to make it similar to the other two. Seems simple enough, right? Well, this happened. Excuse me? And guess what? I had to wait for hours before I was even able to attempt this again, because the fruit didn't respawn on the tree for the longest time. The biggest problem with all of this, and the main reason why I feel Nintendo butchered this into not being the best collectible, is of course how easy they are to miss. If you decided to play through the game with no guide on where the deceitful devils were hiding, I believe that you would not find them. The chance of finding them all without a guide would take thousands, if not more, hours of searching the entire map over and over. If you have 899 of the seeds and only need one left, then good luck, because I still believe you would never find it. However, what about the Korok mask? Ah, stop it! Stop it! Well, the mask itself is an indicator, shaking and making noises if you are close to a leafy loser. And this would certainly help tons and cut off a bunch of hours from the hunt, making it easier to not walk past one by accident. The issue is that even if you have collected 899 of them faster with the mask, this won't help much in regards to finding the last one when you still have to go absolutely everywhere in hopes that the mask will tell you that you are close. Plus, the mask itself is locked behind the first DLC, so any players out there that do not have the first DLC will have a worse time finding them. So I truly recommend using a guide like the interactive map on zeldadungeon.net, where you can check off the ones you have gotten. I actually used this to get the final 600 I was missing. And, of course, getting 600 within 24 hours wasn't really a pleasurable experience. Luckily, all of that was worth it, right? I mean, collecting 900 seeds have of course taken a burden on me, so of course there will be a good prize for it, right? Right? To conclude, I want to say that this long, arduous task of getting all 900 seeds would have been easier if Nintendo implemented a way of, getting them in an easier fashion. One thing they could have done is that after you defeat the final boss, you could have unlocked like a feature in the map where you could see that, oh, here, you have gotten 10 out of 37 seeds in Gerudo Highlands. So it kind of just helped you to see where you're kind of missing seeds overall. Another thing they could have done is, of course, the mask could have a better functionality, or you could have simply another item that is way better than the mask you could have unlocked or had, that basically worked like a compass, and regardless of where you were, it would always point towards the closest seed from where you are. Just overall, there are a ton of things that Nintendo could have done to kind of improve this and not make it as big of a hassle to get. The problem isn't getting them on your own. The problem is that there are too many of them and there is too big of a margin of like going past them and not finding them. So they really just had to find a way to just give us more information, and that could have, of course, just been a post-game thing. We just simply had too inefficient tools to finding them, and that made this experience way, way worse than it should have been. What my hopes are for Tears of the Kingdom when that releases in a day is that hopefully there will be fewer of them if they exist. Like maybe say 500 of them, and maybe we have better tools to finding them than what we had in Breath of the Wild. Even if said tools are locked behind post-game, it would make this experience overall easier. Regardless, thanks so much for listening to my rant, everyone. I am super excited to be playing Tears of the Kingdom very soon on my Twitch streams, and I'm very excited about 100%ing it as well. And as usual, please do remember to subscribe and, click the bell to be notified about future videos when they come out. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have something I have to do. So, yeah. I'll see you guys later. Yeah, I'll see you guys later. Yeah, okay, bye-bye.